Hi guys, so following the previous guided runs for New York and Jerusalem, this time around we are going into Moscow. And again, we are gonna do a a guide around with commentary just to kind of go through some things to look out for. And we are also going to be doing a zero damage run because with bots, I would say it's much more manageable compared to say solo no bots or dead bots gunslinger run. So we're gonna include the zero damage challenge as well, and we're gonna go with the fire thumper Hellraiser build in this case. Because if you guys still don't know, the fire thumper gives you a pushback, so you kind of create like a line or a wall of fire that is very good for crowd control and basically to help keeps your bots alive. So one thing to take note when you're playing with bots is that they are not going to be carrying, you're still going to be doing most of the work. They kind of act as a support, they control the pyramids a little, they help to snipe lurkers or bombers, but you need to protect them from bulls, juggernauts, and if they get swarmed, they tend to go down fairly quickly. And they also have equipment, so they can support you as well with equipments. Like for example, because the fire thumper build is weak against juggernauts specifically, because you can't burst him down, right? And then when they start charging, you cannot distract them with C4 as well. So I would say juggernaut is probably like the weakness of this build. So we have a fixed ammo bot, which will give us explosive ammo that can help to deal with juggernauts pretty easily. Okay, anyway, back to the map. First part, fairly straightforward. Don't go loud, just go through it slowly. If there's booze and whatnot, you can always make use of bots to take the aggro, take the charge. Don't use any explosive if you can. If there's rats, you have fire thumper that can get rid of it quietly. So yeah. I mean, if you want a challenge, you can always go loud, but I would recommend going quiet for those who are trying to clear this solo. Just so you can save on resources. You're not gonna waste any health early on, which will increase your winning chances in the next parts. So if you ping the heavy there, and then you press on keyboard is the button G, and then you can get the bots to pick up the heavy weapons. So that will be useful because in the final area, it's pretty. There will be time hots in the final area where there will be large swarms. So having more heavies, especially explosive heavies, will be pretty useful.
Regroup and we'll move on.
So now we are finally at the first part. We got the mech kit as well. So the first part, I would say, is quite straightforward. Basically, you just need to clear the pyramids, and then that's it. So okay, we're not gonna pick up ammo just yet. We're gonna make use of our C4 and our deadly gas from the C4 to proc the free refuel perk to give us ammo back on our shotgun.
What's going on?
The reason for doing this is to improve our ammo efficiency, because you have a fire thumper. Thumper eats out ammo crates very quickly, so you kind of want to use a bit of C4 on pyramids. The deadly gas kills, although it takes time. The deadly gas can kill about 50 zombies. It takes time, and then the kills also goes towards your shotgun. So now you see our shotgun is already pretty much full on ammo. This is to allow us to make use of the ammo crates to refuel our thumper, so we basically don't run out that quickly. And of course, you also have the fixer ammo box to refill your primary shotgun as well, so you have a couple of options there. And the good thing about this deadly gas is that because the kills takes time, right, you can also use it as a means to control pyramids. Because the zombies will take damage and get killed, and then the pyramids will also collapse over time. And yeah, so the first part as mentioned, sometimes there's specials that comes behind from this wall on the right side, so you just gotta keep a lookout on that, but usually you don't get much spawns. We only got one gas pack in this round, but if anything, you have a dumper, you have a C4 to deal with them. And for the next part, I generally prefer to start it quickly because you'll get a mini swarm if you don't. So by starting it, you can avoid it. And of course, because I'm already well equipped, I'm not gonna take any tier 3s because I'm gonna do because it's a guided run, so I'm gonna try to do the run with the starting loadout. Because if you do get, like, say, a multi-barrel shotgun, it can help out. It can make the run much easier. Okay, so usually after the first pyramid there'll be specials from the sides. So because all the bots are here, you can just put 2 shots of fire thumper to push all the specials back. We're trying to snipe the screamer with our MGR, but we didn't hit it. Okay, you see the bull there is getting trapped. Oh, then that's because the screamer is climbing over. That's why our MGR missed. But yeah, you can use a couple of MGR shots if you need to. Get rid of the lurker while we are finding the security panel. So that door over there, that's where one of the panels will be located. There's 3 in total. Okay, while we are moving to the other rooms, you know, try to wear down the hall a little bit. So this is the second one. It's basically a guessing game. If you guess the right one quickly, you know, it's always useful. So after you press the first switch, okay, you have to rush for the first switch. If not, the hot will be. If not, you'll be an infinite hot. So only after you do the first switch, it's kind of like where the infinite hot stops. So I'll try to explain it a little bit. But basically, now we're just waiting for the. You're just controlling the pyramids and waiting for the timer to run out to trigger the next part of the objective, basically. Hopefully it's clear, but yeah. So this part you're just kind of waiting, yeah. So now, once this objective is triggered, the swarm will now end. Well, basically you can now clear the hot. Once you clear this remaining pyramids, there won't be any more spawns. So in this case, you don't necessarily need to rush to find the next panel. You can clear the swarm first if you want. And the room that I just looked into, that's where the third switch will be. So basically you have three rooms at the 3 doors, right? That's where all the 3 switches are located. And all switch can only be triggered once, so basically we had our switch in the room on the other end, so that one won't be triggered again. So for the second part of this objective, there's only 2 switches to find. Yeah. So basically, knowing this, you know, you can then say if you're the last man standing, you might want to get out quickly, so you'll trigger the switch and then you know, quickly run off. So yeah. And then because we already cleared the swarm, everything's pretty quiet. You can refill your ammo. The Stumper eats up quite a bit of ammo, so we do want to get it maxed out, you know, here if we can. And then we are off to the next traversal segment before we reach to the final defense. And basically, what I like to do here, you can look out for, you know, things quickly, but I generally, you know, after a quick look, I prefer to just make my way all the way to the end. If you wait out a little bit longer, there's usually another scripted swarm here, where they will kind of spawn from both sides and then kind of trap you in. So usually what I like to do is just, you know, run through it quickly to avoid the swarm, or avoid fighting it in a bad position. You know, I like to, once you get here, because zombies won't spawn behind you, so you just have to deal with the zombies that's coming from the front, so it's a lot safer. And then you have fire thumper and C4 as well, you know, all your things at your disposal to deal with them. Okay, so now we are at the final defense. We are throwing C4 at the gate so we can use it to clear the swarms later. Okay, one important thing here now is that you don't go close to the helicopter, and then this won't trigger the next objective.
Remote bomb out.
This helps to prevent any spawns from occurring. And then there's no timer, so you can take your time to set up, breach, to whatever you need to. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing. So I throw a couple of C4s there, just so that I can use it later to deal with the swarm. I won't detonate C4. I will trigger it manually by shooting at them. So because if you detonate it, everything will explode, you know, at the same time. But you can trigger them manually by shooting at the C4s as well. So that's kind of like one way you can do it. So basically here you have as much time as you need to set up. And yeah. So another good class that you can play will be Claymore Exterminator. If you have time, you want to just wait out. You can replenish your claymores with Pocket Factory perk, and then you can plant it all around this area where the swarm is coming in, and then on the other side as well. And then you'll have pretty easy defenses. I'd say at least for the first half of the defense, it'll be of the wave will be pretty easily manageable. But yeah, that's one way to do it, you know. So we are doing the same thing. Throw 3 C4s on the others on this side as well. And yeah, so basically I think we are pretty much done. Once you're ready, get close to the helicopter, and then the objective will be triggered. That's when spawns will start coming in, and to prevent that, we will start the defense immediately. So basically make sure you're ready before you go close to the helicopter, because it is I would advise you guys to start the wave immediately. Otherwise a hot's gonna spawn in like 30 seconds into the timer.
A rescue. We lost a team near Red Square.
You should not have come. They're gone.
No! They sent a distress call an hour ago.
So here we go. Let's start this. See where the wave's coming from. Okay, it's from this side. Okay, so one thing I noticed is the bots will position, because so there's 2 platforms, right, on the boat, and then on the other small platform on the other side. Here I'm just kind of looking out for any possible special spawns, because usually they'll have like boosts or jugs from behind. Okay, oh, there's a jug there. We're gonna use our fire thumper to push it away, and then basically to control it. Okay, we can manually trigger the C4 there now, yeah, and then the other one as well. And then the gas will kind of wear down the zombies for us as well. So another way you can use the fire thumper is kind of just put it at the edge, and then climbing zombies will then get pushed back. Oh shit, I accidentally fell down, yeah? But that's fine. There's a... Is that a bull there? Yeah, there's a bull upstairs, so... Let's put one more fire thumper down there. Basically what we're trying to do now is to cover the bots. You know, make use of the fire to cover them while they... wear down the zombies as well. Help us to kill some of the zombies. Okay. Timer is clear, which is good. Don't have to worry about this too much. Should be fine. We have some med kits, and we also have an unopened crate. So, which, depending on what you guys need. So because all the bots, or most of the bots, have low health. So say if I were to open a crate now, most likely I'll get another med kit to heal them up. So the game kind of spawn items depending on what you lack. So we got another med kit. Put some fire thumper to cover the zombies. Trying to save the bots, so I'm using a C4 there. There's a bomber there as well, so I'm using another C4. So basically you have to cover the bots, otherwise they would have probably all been dead by now. Okay, well, one still died, unfortunate, but at least we still have 2 of them to kind of help us a little bit. I'm gonna heal the other one now. Hopefully I don't get hit here. Nice. Alright, and then for the final part, or the second half of the defense. You can make use of the defenses, mortars, machine guns, they're all pretty useful. Yeah. So I think, okay, so once again on this side there's two different platforms. I think both platforms are fine, to be honest. So it's kind of how you want to play it. But basically I think if you're closer, depending on which platform you're closer, the bots will be situated there. So that's one thing. If you have a preference, if you prefer the boat instead of this, you know, you can try to be at the boat before the wave starts. So we are once again using the fire thumper at the edge to kind of push the zombies back down. Using C4 to save our bot for a little bit. And the bot's doing a pretty good job doing some crowd control there on the side. Okay, we'll put the fire thumper here again, just to kind of block off all the zombies that might be climbing or coming towards us. If we are running out of fire thumper, we're going to be a bit mindful. Okay, the hot timer is cleared, so we are not so worried. Okay, getting infected, let's use the fire thumper again. And then the ammo crate's on the boat, so we're going to route around to get some ammo. And yeah, we're done. So yeah, I think hopefully that helps. The main thing is, you know, stay away from the boat until you're ready in terms of setting up defenses and whatnot.
Yes, I'm here. I'm alive.
Get the supplies and head to the church.
But yeah, I think that's the main thing to take note of that can help make the final defense a lot easier. And yeah, hopefully that helps. So we again we were using the shotgun fire thumper build on Hellraiser, and we have the deadly gas C4, which helps us to, you know, clear a bit of the swarms and pyramids as well. Yeah, so we got 0 damage, nice. And as you can see from the previous screen, we basically did most of the killing there. So yeah, for the next map we're gonna use Claymore Exterminator, and again, you know, it's kind of up to you to use whatever class you want. I'm just trying to use different classes, just to showcase a little bit of the difference in playstyles. That's why I'm using a lot more Hellraiser, Exterminator, because for Gunslinger I already have a lot of solo runs with that. So if you guys are interested, you can have a look at the Deadbot's Gunslinger runs, just to see how I play that. So I'm with this guided runs. I'm trying to use a little bit of other classes, just to show a little bit of a different playstyle. And the reason why claymores are so good in this map is because the first part, essentially, if you don't go to the find the strike team, you also have like a lot of time. Well, I would say unlimited. So you can have all the time in the world to recharge your claymores, because I'm using Pocket Factory, so I get one back every 37 seconds. And if you remember, the swarm comes from the starting point, and then of course from the front as well. So you can essentially plant claymores along the swarm path, right near the spawn point basically. And then they will basically help clear quite a big part of the zombies. Again, be careful of the two exploding cars. Don't go loud here. It will help a lot. So this car over here, and then the car at the back.
Something happened here.
You can have a look at, you know, find items. There's usually a med kit on this side, some heavies, another multi-shot rocket launcher. That's nice. We can use that for the final part. I'm just gonna trigger this because yeah, I don't really want to wait around for too long. But essentially, you can wait if you want. Don't trigger the strike team, and then you have all the time in the world to plan the whole map with claymores.
Look over here. We're coming in.
And okay, so for this current strategy to work, we also need a breaching charge, which there's like 3 possible spawn points in this map. So hopefully you get lucky enough to find one, which I'll show you why afterwards. So be careful of lurkers here. Lurkers will still spawn quite a bit. So this car as well can explode, so try not to shoot it, especially when you just spawn in. Usually sometimes there's zombies lying around, people tend to trigger it immediately.
With indentations.
So this is another swarm path, that's why I plant a couple of claymores there as well. And then we're going back to the starting position to plant another one there.
Occupation, nerve gas would be spread throughout the inner city.
You'll use it on the Zeke.
So now it's just waiting basically.
We'll keep the Zeke off
I
you,
find
but
that
be quick.
when you're soloing in this map, it's very easy to, like when you're quiet, there isn't really much spawns. Whereas if
They may
you
have left
play
equipment
with
behind these locked doors.
other actual players, they still tend to have like a couple of zombies here and there. Okay, anyway, in this part, see which door Boomash Curve is going to, and then, you know, press the breach button. This stops the guy from breaching the door, and then essentially he won't create any noise, so you don't get any zombies at all. Usually he will make some noise and then there will be some spawns, but in this case, because he doesn't do the breach action, it doesn't spawn anything at all. So I'm planting one in the middle, just along the swamp path. And then I'm planting one over a little bit closer to the right side, because that's where specials can walk through. Usually, you know, jugs, bulls, they can spawn and then walk through from that direction. So I'm trying, well, it also covers the main path as well, so you're gonna kind of kill two birds with one stone. One here to cover flanks, so that's a possible spawn point for zombies from behind. This gate as well on the left, then these two holes as well, this gate, all these are spawn points. But yeah, like at the moment we have limited claymores, so we're not gonna be able to cover everything. And one thing that I tend to do is once the timer appears, I will start it immediately, because sometimes if you just let the timer run to 0, there might be a couple of zombie spawns that will trigger like some of the claymores, which is annoying. So I tend to just start it. So you can see one of the claymores exploded. Yeah, I couldn't show you the swarm path because there are some spawns behind, so I wanted to get to a safe spot. But basically you can see the claymores all the zombies are getting burned while they're running towards us. And they didn't even get past to the, well, more or less didn't get through to the second car. So I usually, if possible, keep the second car for the second wave. Okay, we have another multi-shot, so we're just going to use this here, but you don't necessarily need it. You can just make use of the shotgun if you want. Usually you'll be fine. There's a juggernaut, so be careful. You don't want to get damaged here. Okay, that's it. Yeah, you know, pretty straightforward. We're going to take the heavy weapon from Sergey. So basically the claymores that we've placed help to clear the first half of the wave, and then for the second half you can use a multi-shot rocket launcher and your tier 2 shotgun to clear them easily. And then yeah, it makes quick work of the whole defense, very honestly. And then for this part, I would recommend just going through quickly as well to avoid getting trapped in the middle of the stairs or whatnot by because there's usually another scripted swarm here. So I don't like to drag around for too long, because you and your bots will be in a really bad spot, I'd say, and then this means they are more likely to go down. And because we are using Claymore build, it is not exactly very friendly as compared to Molotov, because Molotov you can just throw at zombies that's running at you, whereas for Claymores you still need to do the planting action, so there's a chance that the Claymore can blow up in your face, and there's a chance that zombies will catch up and slap you as well. So, and then of course the Claymores can blow up your bots. So these are things to consider. Molotovs are usually more user-friendly. Claymores does require a little bit of planning, so to speak, knowing where to place the Claymores, etc. So I'm not planting any claymores now because I'm hoping that the bots will go quiet later, and then we can try to avoid like another mini horde. Because if I start planting claymores and then there's a bunch of a few strays that walk onto it, trigger it, and then you'll go loud again. So sometimes if things are quiet for a period of time and the bots don't shoot with their primary weapon, they will switch back to their secondary silencer. So that's what I'm trying to do. It doesn't always work, of course, but that's kind of one thing you can try. And if I were to put claymores now, they might be triggered as mentioned, and then they will just carry on being loud. Yeah, so now they are back to their pistol.
That's it. I've got the key.
Time to go. Wait.
But it doesn't always work as well. Sometimes sometimes there'll be scripted swarms. I find that it's a little bit of RNG sometimes.
The radio system is locked.
But
The
yeah,
hardware key isn't here.
they might still go loud immediately when the next objective start, honestly. So
Start looking. Hurry.
Nothing on this guy.
yeah, so there we go. It's still loud, so unfortunately we couldn't get it done. So in that case, in hindsight, if you're expecting it to go loud immediately anyway, it would have been a better option to be planting some claymores. You could put it on the grid so that if there's boo spawns, at least they won't destroy it. So I recommend putting 2 on each of the grids there before you jump down to search for the bodies. This is to make sure the boos don't destroy the grids, because they can be killed by the fire. So anyway, sorry. So my point is, if a boo that's not damaged or anything, they can deplete the grid totally. So you do tend to want to try to kill them off quickly if they're on the grid, to make sure your grid is not depleted heavily. Yeah, sorry, I probably didn't really explain this properly, but yeah. Anyway, look for the bodies now. This one is usually spread out around the map. It's usually the same few spawns, so you just need to be familiar with the objective.
No luck here.
Yeah.
Look over here.
So we have the multi-barrel shotgun there, but we are not gonna pick it up. I'm just gonna use the tier 2 weapons that we have here.
Defense kit here.
So the claymore that I placed earlier that I forgot to mention is to try and snipe a screamer. So basically you go... Oof, that was close. So basically you can... there are certain screamer spawn points which are a little bit harder to get, like the one that's behind the truck or the ammo crate. So you don't really have line of sight if you are within the defense zone. So one thing you can do is, if it's reachable, you can plant a claymore there, and then if the screamer do spawn at that spot, you just die immediately. But provided you know or you remember where it is. Okay, there's no bodies here, so it's most likely upstairs.
Must be something.
So I'm just trying to see if if the bots are low health, they will have a plus sign to show that you can heal them, or to show that they need healing.
Over here. Defense kit.
Yeah, so now we are quiet. So I guess it actually sort of worked. Say if we had a claymore, it might continue going loud. It's a little bit, yeah. Sometimes I feel it's a little bit iffy sometimes, but I find that as long as you have 2 grids in this area, you generally be quite safe. Say if we only had 1 grid, we will need to put some claymores on to cover the site without the grid basically, and then it will be very important to control the swarms, make sure they don't climb up.
Here. Now get on with it.
This will take a few minutes.
Look over here.
And I have a breaching charge, but I'm not gonna breach. I usually, if I feel that I have enough resources, I tend not to breach the doors, because every door you breach is a swarm. So if you have a group of squad mates, it's best that you guys all breach at the same time. Otherwise, if you breach one at a time, the swarm will just keep coming. So I'm just gonna start this because I'm not gonna breach. I'm not gonna do much. I'm just gonna plant the claymore along the swarm path, and then you'll get back to safety upstairs. Yeah, so in this case you can plant it a little bit more aggressively, just basically where the swarm is coming from. There's not much choke points, to be fair. Everything is going to come from the front, or this front. But there's a so this staircase you can plant one as well. This is basically, I suppose, your flank, so they can break open the door and then come attack you from the side. Oh, one bot went down. I think he was just the bot was going for the infector. Yeah, unfortunately the bot just all of them are jumping down, so they might dive here, and then we'll probably have to defend the swarm ourselves. Yeah, so try your best to control the pyramids so that they don't overrun and start swarming the platform. Oh, nice! They gas. So okay, nice. They two of them survived, so that's good for us. Okay, and the good thing with these claymores is that it can help you to proc your third hand as well. So because the zombies are tankier now, sometimes within your 14 or how many rounds of shotgun pellets, you may not be able to kill 15 zombies. And then the fire basically can help you to secure some kills. Oh, the Timo fell down again. Secure some kills to proc the third hand to instant reload your shotgun. That's kind of one way it can help. I mean, Molotov works fine as well, but basically, as you can see, the first defense, you won't be able to do it as cleanly because you will only have 2 Molotovs, and you know, if you want to throw in the swarm, it means you can't use it to cover the flanks. So yeah. Okay, we use our multi-shot to pick up the shotgun. We should be almost done actually. So yeah, there we go. So pretty straightforward, I'd say. We are pretty lucky we didn't get like a bad screamer spawn, because so sometimes screamer can spawn. You know, there's two possible swarm direction, right? So wherever your swarm is coming from, the screamer can actually spawn on the other swarm path. So you actually have to go out of the gate to actually get the screamer, which is pretty risky. So I would say we were pretty lucky in this run. We didn't get like a very bad screamer spawn. Yeah, so that definitely helped us as well. But yeah, I think that's about it.
What makes you think he cares?
How far to the bunker?
So if there's a screamer and you're playing with bots, I would recommend staying on the platform and just try to fight through it. I think if you were to rush for the screamer, the bots will most likely go down, and then the platform's gonna be swarmed. Yeah, if you're with a squad, then I'd say one of you can possibly push for the screamer, and then the other 3 focus on the platforms. But yeah, otherwise it's a pretty risky move, I'd say, because we don't have masking. If you have masking effect, you know, you can possibly do it safely. But yeah. Okay, so for next map, Moscow 3 is objective based, so we are gonna go with the Vanguard class. Vanguard is really strong. You know, your shield counters pretty much everything, and then you know you can do objectives kind of for free because you have the armor plated perk, which gives you invulnerability when you interact with something. But the problem with on Extinction is, while you are invulnerable, if a zombie hits you, you can still get infected. So you gotta be mindful. Basically, you already propped armor plated, so it's on cooldown, and if zombie infects you now, you don't have a way to disinfect safely. So you either need to use your hammer kills, or you need to use your shield charge to disinfect, which I have both equipped, or you can try to wait out for the armor plated cooldown to disinfect with it, though that can be a bit risky, depending on, you know. So we have a supply back there, so I'm just using my shield charge to get my temp health. Because we're trying to do a no damage run, so having some temp health is always useful to soak up, you know, possible damage there, possible chip damage basically. And then we are going for the chainsaw just to give us the additional, just to help us clear zombies quicker with melee.
Follow the tracks. There is a parallel tunnel.
I tend to use a different build when I'm playing in squads, so this is kind of more like a solo build. So again, I tend to see people breaching the first door right at the start. I don't remember what's inside it, but again, if you go loud, then you have a swarm to fight. Of course, if you're comfortable with that, that's perfectly fine. But usually, if you guys have breaching charges, what I would recommend is those with breaching charges can breach the 2 doors here at the same time, and then one guy can start the swarm immediately, so you basically don't have to fan off another mini swarm, which can, you know, use up more resources unnecessarily. Alright, anyways, we're just gonna start it. So this one you have defense Svetlana, and then the 3 bots are positioned a little bit far away, so you cannot really protect them all at the same time. I'm using Vanguard here, and I find that this spot on top of the train is pretty good. You can basically take aggro from the zombies on all sides. Okay, we're just gonna target this side here first. We're using our shield charge, and then because we got 15 kills in within a pretty short duration, so we got our shield energy back. So that's why the chainsaw is pretty good. It can help us proc the 15 kills to get our shield energy. Because sometimes if you shield melee, and even using a weapon can be a little bit slow, so that's where the chainsaw kind of comes in. So as you can see, Hammer Signature Strike gives a pretty good pushback, so you can use that to reposition. But because we can't see our melee stamina now, so you gotta be mindful not to overextend. Because if you swing without stamina, it's pretty slow, and then that's where you can get hit by zombies in between the swing animation. So we are trying to save the bot over there, but now we are getting a little bit trapped. Okay. So with the hammer special kill, we disinfect ourselves automatically, so that's pretty handy. Because we are going for no damage run, right? So there's no point for us to go with the sword. I want to get rid of the jug quickly, because yeah, the chainsaw doesn't work well against it, and then we only have a tail 1 shotgun, so the RPG it is. We're gonna bring the chainsaw anyway, so we can make use of the other heavies here if you want. Another jug here. Let it fall down. Nice. Bots healing themselves.
Look over here.
We pick up the explosive so we can deal with the jug if it follows us.
Take a look over here.
I want to get the bot to pick that up, but I don't really want to fight another round of zombies, so I'm just gonna keep moving.
Feels good to
Yeah, so remember with Vanguard, the main thing you need to know is just kind of like the shield melee combo. Press the shield, press the melee button. That push zombies away, and then you can fire a couple of shots in if you want to. But if you want to play it safe, the safest way is just shield once and then melee once. That's the safest option, let's say. I think, yeah, she already down one, so there's a respawn point, that's why I downed her. And then both bots will respawn with half health, and then they can still go down once each. So the good thing about this is when one of the bots go down, the one that goes to revive becomes very, very tanky, so that actually helps to take aggro for quite a while. So you do want your bots to be downable once at least. So that's why you can kind of reset them at checkpoints, right before checkpoints. Okay, so for this part, either you can wait out at the top of the staircase for the mini swarm, or like what I'm doing here, you can push down quickly before the swarm hits.
list at the end of the
But you gotta
catwalk.
be pretty quick because usually they would have spawned by now.
The lift is coming.
Yeah, so yeah, there you go. So because we are using Vanguard, so it's not really a big issue. You can try to just push through them. Okay, you want to back out a bit so the bots actually follow you. And then what you can do is, like I said, once the bots are in front, well, behind you or around you, you can move forward a little to take zombie aggro. So this is one way to kind of cover your bots. But you don't want to move too far, if not they will follow you and they will push in front as well. Okay, we're just using our shield melee here. And then the bots can help us to pick off the zombies. Yeah, so this is basically kind of like babysitting them. Oh, there's a jug. We can't do much against jug, unfortunately. We don't have an explosive ammo now, so we can just block it with our shield. Okay, we'll take the SMG. The good thing with the tier 2 SMG is that it has fire, so you can actually use it to light up the Juggernaut. And then that can help to clear it a little bit quicker. Okay, nice. Okay, keep moving. Alright, we're done.
Take a look over here.
Yeah, so the side room is pretty good to hold out the zombies. They will all come from the front. But yeah, you need to make sure you have some explosives or resources to deal with the juggernauts or bulls that can drop down. Usually most classes will have one way or another to deal with them, so I'm not too worried about that, yeah. And then for this part again, you can breach if you want. Again, I don't like to drag around traversal segments for too long because that's where you get trapped easily. You know, say for example in this spot you can have spawns on all directions, and then they are just pretty bad spots to hold out. So the door that's under that before this staircase, that's right at the bottom of this staircase that we just came up from. The door, you can usually breach that one and then kind of hold out there. Because there's med kits there, so you know, medics, if you have medics, can heal up the team. There's stim back, so you guys can replenish all the resources before you actually get to the final area. So if I want to breach, that's probably the only door that I will breach. And because zombies will usually spawn from the in a single direction, so you can kind of hold out there as well easily. But yeah, so now we are in the final area.
At least we know it works. A little bit of karma.
They were doing their jobs. That's the mixing chamber. You're nearly there.
Reloading. Take a look at this monster.
We take the special SMG. It has a bit more power and it also has the fire perk. So we can... Basically it's useful for Juggernauts, yeah. Juggernauts is pretty much the only... I won't say weakness, but the one that's annoying because there's no weakness for you to melee quickly. So you have to rely on your weapons for headshots. So that's where the burn damage can come into play. So usually when you're soloing here, the first part, even though there are some zombies, you're not actually loud yet. You can still do this quietly, so you don't get any specials, you just get some strays, that's it. So you can deal with them, either with weapon or like what I'm doing, just with melee. But yeah, and then we're still not loud, so that's good. You can still have a look around, see where the bags are, where everything is. And then once you're ready, you can start it.
Auto turret ready for action.
So I'm gonna put the auto turrets at the center. So one spot that I really like to stay as you know, usually it's just like this, just around this area to cover the front, because that's where the zombies and special spawns, and then you need at least one person covering this side. So at least the other guys can focus on the pyramids. And then you also have easy access to C and K, which we are lucky we got C1 first, which is pretty close to us. But yeah, because we are with bots, you know, we can take the role of just, you know, getting the aggro from all these guys, and then the bots can help to control the pyramids. But of course, sometimes specials will spawn in from the side, so you just gotta keep a lookout as well. Okay, bull, pretty easy. Chainsaw, one swing, easy down, that's good. And then C2, okay, it's pretty close to us as well. Again, be mindful that if you, while doing objectives, even though you may have armor plated, you can still get infected. So in that regard, if you do get infected, you need to be able to shield charge or use your hammer to disinfect, or try to buy some space with melee pushback and then disinfect afterwards. Okay, we got K2 again. Okay, the platform is, or this area is now getting swarmed a little. But yeah, because I'm playing Vanguard, so I'm not too worried either. Say if all the bots were to go down. Okay, anyway, we need to pick up the back quickly, because once you run out of shield energy, you're gonna be in big trouble. So because we have a couple of backs around the area as well, so you can kind of play around it. Use your shield charge to get temp health, and then while during that, move into a good spot, or you know, a spot with a supply bag, and then to pick it up. Yeah, so we are getting a lot quite a bit messy, because the bots don't really have DPS to control the pyramids. So you can see that all the zombies are climbing up, and then there's also zombies dropping down from the front. You can go with other DPS classes if you want, but I think Vanguard or even Medic is actually one of the easier options, I'd say. You could possibly go for the Hellraiser Fire Dumper build, though a possible issue is ammo. If the ammo crate is not at the center, it's on either the left or right side, C or K, sometimes you may have trouble getting them, so you know, just something to consider. And yeah, that's it, we're done. Yeah, there's quite a few bags around actually. Usually like there's 2 or 3 bags in this area, so you can be a bit more, you can use your shield charge a little bit more generously to get the temp health, and to kind of basically to move from another point to point. And yeah, yeah, hopefully it makes sense. This part can be a little bit trickier. Basically, you want, if you're in the squad, you want a couple of guys to focus on the pyramids, and then one guy at least to kind of focus down along the center path, because usually specials will be there. So this will help to keep the whole platform clean. And then you can have the last guy doing the objective, you know, just running around doing all the different machines. Okay, on to the last map. We are going to go with Medic class, because again, this is objective-based map. Personally, I find Medic to be pretty easy in this map. Just mask, steam yourself, you know, allows you to reposition, gives you temp health. And yes, and let's walk through it.
It all looks the same.
We're lost.
Okay, so here we go. I'm starting with Deal to SMG because, as said, this is gonna be a no damage run, so no damage guided run. But if you are doing like a normal run, you can stick to Tier 1 SMG. Tier 1 SMG is not too bad either. Pretty high fire rate. Oh, one thing to take note is we are using the special kills here instead of the 15 kills, even though that has a lower cooldown. Mainly because we are gonna get a lot more specials in the middle area, which I find is the hardest part in this map.
I don't like
Okay,
this.
so we don't have
here.
the switches at the first part, so we'll have the switches in the next area. One important point to note
I'm going to die
is
from hunger.
try your best to knock down the auto turrets,
Honey cake.
so that you don't go loud at the start.
Must be something.
Or avoid them if you can,
Well,
you know,
look at that.
try not to let them fire. because if you go quiet here, you won't get any swarm in the tunnel, which I'd say helps a lot. So off to the next, but sometimes it's out of your control. Sometimes zombie will just spawn in front of the auto turret, and then that's where, you know, it just goes loud, and then there's not much else you can do really. That's just kind of like bad RNG.
The one filled with gas. Great.
Find the van switch.
Yeah. So because we are playing, you know, we are attempting a no damage run, so we are playing a little bit safer here as well. Okay, so the switch's not here, so you'll be on the other side. So yeah, definitely need to be familiar with the objective, you know, so you know where all these gas or band switches are, so you can kind of do them quickly and look for them quickly.
I found the switch.
So we're still quiet so far, so
Got it.
I mean, generally speaking, once you're already going past this, it shouldn't be an issue. Usually it's right at the start, you know, just make sure you're not within the turret's line of fire so that it doesn't shoot at all, and then that's where, you know, it can go out accidentally.
This can't just be for Moscow.
Okay, so that's what we have. We're gonna go to the tunnel now, and we are quiet, so there's not gonna be a swarm. But in case you do go loud here, if you're playing medic, you can actually just run through it. Because on Extinction you have less stamina, so you'll need the masking effect to get through the swarm path. Basically, with masking you can avoid swarm damage. So say if we are loud and the tunnel has a swarm, you can just sprint past this horde. Actually, you can avoid it. You don't have to fight it. Just run through it with your stims. You probably need like one stim at least to get through it safely. And then yeah, so basically drop down from here and then run through this side here if there's a swarm. And then there's usually a bank on this platform here. So you can replenish.
You left us behind.
We lost people. We tried to come back, but everything went to hell.
And we're just gonna keep moving here.
I need you to do something.
Not too worried about the bots. Yeah.
Who cares about a handful of Zeke wandering around down there?
Actually, if you want to make this even easier, you can play it without bots, because you do get less zombies at the end. Basically, the number of zombies scales with the number of players / bots. So if you play without bots, you can get smaller swarms at the end, and even in the tunnel.
What do you need us to do?
There's a car
And then there's a
at the end of
better
that
chance for you to actually get through this part quietly. So this part you can actually do it without going loud, but I think it's easier if you do it without any of the bots there, because the bots tend to just go loud sometimes.
Take a look over here.
But in any case, I'm just gonna demonstrate what we can do here. Yeah, essentially you want to try to get to the control room quickly. Yeah, the swarm is just gonna keep spawning, so the faster you can clear the objectives, the faster you can get out of here. So once you activate the main switch, facing outwards, so like facing outwards, rooms on the left will be L, and then rooms on the right will be R. So that's kind of how you tell whether you should be pressing the L or the R buttons. Okay, we're gonna revive Oscana here. Take down the bomber quickly. So I'm not too worried about the bots now. They can take aggro for us, and then we'll just try to self-steam and then make sure our health is topped up. So in case we get hit by accident, you know, at least we still don't lose any actual health here. Okay, you can steam the bots, that's fine. We have the candy perk, so we are basically getting a steam back for free. So the red light is over there, so that's basically left. And then because it's on the second floor, so it's L2. So the second floor switches are on this particular side, and then you can press L2, and the room will be green, and then you can press the panel inside. So if you are with a squad again, one thing that you can do to make this easier is to have one guy here stationed at the control switches, and then another guy or the rest of the team kind of looking out for the red and green rooms and help to press the switches there.
Watch out! Creeper! Look out for this one!
But because we are soloing, so you basically have to do everything yourself. So it's gonna take a little bit more time here.
Special neutralize.
So you can see the fire is actually pretty handy. Oh, and also keep a lookout for bags. Usually there's 1 to 2 supply bag spawns, so you can make sure you know where they are, and you can make use of them to give yourself more stims, which equals more masking. Yeah.
Exactly are we doing?
And we need to do, in solo runs, you need to do 3 of these
That will
switches.
sound great on the
Switch
resume.
objectives.
Look
If you're in a
over
squad,
here.
that's 4. So that's our first one.
Still.
Oh, okay, nice. We got the R2. So for those who are looking for lights, another good spot you can stand is actually just on top there, where you can climb up. Because when you're there, you can see 3 areas. You can see all of level 2, and you can also see L1. So if all 3 sites don't have any red lights, the only possibility will be R1. So that's like a quick way to determine where it is. You can avoid the lurker here. Just gonna steam ourselves, and yeah, because there's just be a bit safe here.
Reloading.
Okay, I think all our bots are dead.
That's it. Green light.
Go inside the service room. There should be a button. Push it.
Got it.
Excellent. Now repeat.
This is gonna sting. Finally.
Take care of the booga, I'll steam back. That's why special queues here is, I find that special queues are easier to proc in this particular area, because you do get a lot of lurkers and special spawns in between. Oh, we got the L2 again. That's pretty convenient. So yeah, so that's the one, which is the last one, and then once you start do the last switch, they will start guessing the area, so you need to get away, start prepping to run.
Using this stim. Rotten hell. Look over here. This is gonna sting.
So we're just refilling our steams here. To be fair, we probably don't need to take this one. We just need, we can just press the switch and then go to the one downstairs.
Go inside the service room. There should be a button. One more. As soon as you turn
All right, we're done.
the gas.
Because we used one more. Yeah, I was just playing it really safe. So we're gonna go down to take the other steam over here, because why not? And then replenish steams, let our stamina get back as well. And basically, yeah, just run up the stairs really. You can mask yourself again.
Feels good to be alive.
And then usually zombies will tend to rush in. I think they do hear you when you use your stims or something, so they will still kind of rush down the escalator.
Using this stim.
So yeah, so try to have as many stims as you. Oh shit, we accidentally down the bots because they respawn so quick. But try to have as much stims as you can when you're running here. So try to keep one back for the so they can you take it towards the end, and to maximize your chances of surviving when you're running up the escalator. And then once you're here, I think this part is also quite straightforward. You can breach this door. This door has 2 bags, so you want to have as much bags as possible in this particular spot. So this door is, I'll recommend breaching this door instead, and then this will likely give a mech hit. because the bots are pretty low.
Let's make this count.
So I'm not expecting the bots to survive in this map.
Here.
So just focus on yourself surviving. There's lots of steam, so you know you can be a bit more generous with it. But yeah.
There's a creeper.
So a trick
I
here,
can feel it.
again, is that we're gonna pick up the special SMG for the damage and then the burn as well against Jugs. See what our defenses. We're probably gonna start it soon because there's another yeah. Okay, so the mini hot's already here. We are a little bit late. Let's heal up first then. Maybe it's not really safe now because there's quite a bit of zombies, so we're just gonna start it. So basically the mistake that we made was not starting it earlier, so we could avoid. Basically that's why sometimes I start it. Essentially when I'm soloing, most of if you're with a squad, yeah, sometimes it's better to give them some time to set up defenses and whatnot. And but yeah, if you're soloing, you know you can do whatever you want, right? So I tend to just start the defense early to avoid the mini swarm. You know, you see all these specials here. But yeah, basically, because now we are gonna be the last man standing, what we're gonna do is to make use of the platforms to kite the zombies. So the zombies can come from three sides, right? The left, down the church, the right from the train platforms, or from the front here. Only the swarm from the front will give you a time hot, which is what we are getting here, so we are a little bit unlucky. If you get the left or the right side swarm, you actually don't need to clear them. We can just wait it out. This is essentially like the whole objective is again has like a big timer on it. I didn't time it exactly, so I'm not sure what the exact how long you have to wait exactly, but yeah. So if you're lucky, you get a swarm from the left or right. You don't have to clear it, just kite the zombies really. But if you're unlucky, you get the one in front. You need a little bit of DPS to clear the time hot. Okay, so now it's coming from the platform. The platform one we don't need to clear, as I mentioned. Right now we are just kiting really.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, just there's lots of place for you to climb. You know, there's lots of backs around. You have masking effect. So yeah, it should be pretty okay to survive here. Nice, we killed the bull with the fire, so we got our steam back. You can make use of these platforms to slow down the zombies.
Give me a second. This is gonna sting.
So I steam there, and then we can make use of the damage boost to kill the bull, because that's, yeah, that was, you know, I think already past the 30 seconds cooldown, so you can kind of time it a little bit, and then sort of like a, you know, like a free stim, you know, why not? So yeah, so this one's a little bit too early, but that's fine, you know, we have lots of backs around, so not much issues there, to be honest. Okay, so as you can see, we didn't clear the swarm from the train platform, but you can hear the helicopter is coming in. So that's where Svetlana is gonna pop out soon. So essentially, the whole area is also time-based, kind of like New York 4, where you just wait out for a certain period of time before it ends. Yeah, so Svetlana is now, you just gotta escort her. So in case you don't really have resources or anything, you can let Svetlana go down, and then you can revive her, and then she'll usually walk a few steps. That's a little bit slower, but otherwise you can also use yourself to lure the zombies to you. We're gonna get rid of that Juggernaut. Juggernaut's pretty annoying. That was close. We steamed ourselves and then to absorb hits there. Okay, there's a couple more bags here. Yeah, so you do tend want to it might be pretty good to save like a MGL here or something, or another explosive like payload. If you don't have a chainsaw, a payload would be pretty nice as well, just to quickly cover Svetlana a little bit. If she's pinned down, you can MGL her just so she can, you know, walk a few more steps. But we had a chainsaw, which is pretty handy here, so that's kind of what we do. But yeah, hopefully it makes sense. Yeah. And hopefully I didn't miss anything out. But yeah, that's like the gist of it, I think. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Hope you guys enjoyed the runs, and thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.